Hey, welcome to the Empowered and Free podcast. My name is Erin Kimbrell, and I'm a counselor, certified life coach, breathwork coach, and small town mom of two. I know firsthand what it feels like to live with high functioning anxiety. For most of my life, I had so much mental mess, anxiety, people pleasing, perfectionism, overthinking, constant worrying, and never feeling good enough. On my decade-long journey to feeling better, I've learned how to take back my life from high-functioning anxiety and helped others to do the same through my coaching and breathwork programs. Now I want to share everything I know with you. This podcast will help you feel empowered over your high-functioning anxiety and free to finally live the life of your dreams. Now, grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and dive into the episode. I'm Erin Kimbrell, and this is the Empowered and Free podcast. Let's chat about what anxiety really is. Why does anxiety happen to us? And I want to give you the behind the scenes. And what I mean by that is you can get on Google. You're a smart woman. You know how to search for things, right? You know how to find solutions. You can get on Google and you can type in, what is anxiety? Or why does anxiety happen to me? Or whatever it is that you're searching for. And you can see kind of a generic answer that says anxiety is when you have too much stress and you're not able to cope and you can't manage it. That's not really what we're talking about here today. I am shedding some light on the real truth behind what anxiety really is, not what you can find on Google. Anxiety is a couple things to me. Anxiety is a messenger, first and foremost. Anxiety is just here to share with us that something is wrong, that we don't feel safe, that we don't feel okay, that we're scared about something that's going to happen. Because anxiety in general is just anticipating a future worry, a future concern that's there, right? Anxiety is your mind and your body saying that something is out to get you, something is out to hurt you. And how can we avoid that? Because the main point of the brain is to keep us safe. The brain wants us to survive. So the brain's constantly looking out for anything that could hurt us, anything that could cause us harm. That's what the brain's doing. So the brain's doing the brain's job. When the brain's on overdrive and we feel anxious, it's because we're worried about something in the future that could cause us harm. And because of this, what does anxiety cause? You probably heard me say it a time or two. Anxiety causes you to avoid things that make you feel anxious. Think about that. If I'm out in the woods and I see a bear, okay, and my brain immediately goes, panic, right? Death. And I'm just looking to survive, then what am I going to do? I'm going to freeze. I'm going to either run the other way. I'm going to stay exactly where I'm at so that bear doesn't see me, so that I don't get hurt. I'm not going after the bear. I can promise you that. Now, if I knew that the bear was in the woods, would I be taking a walk in the first place? Heck to the no. I sure would not be taking a walk because my brain knows that bear could eat me. So my brain says, don't do it. Don't go. My brain is keeping me safe. It's helping me avoid the thing that could hurt me. The problem that you're facing now is that your brain thinks a lot of things can hurt you. So your brain is telling you, don't do it, don't go there, avoid that thing. And you're scared because a big part of anxiety is fear. And fear is that emotional response we have to a threat. So anxiety is a combination of our fear plus that anticipation that something bad is going to happen. And like I've said before, anxiety is a normal human emotion. The goal is not to just completely get rid of that anxiety. So not only is anxiety a messenger to tell us something's up, something's bothering us, we're worried about something, but anxiety is also our internal alarm. Anxiety is our body's alarm system. Thinking of like our alarm system in our home. One of my biggest fears is a break-in. Is a home invasion. And so as long as I've had my own home, I've had an alarm system. So if you think of that alarm system in a house, that alarm system is set up to alert us if there's danger. Alert us to if someone else is in our home other than ourselves, or someone is in there and they're not supposed to be in there. And so, of course, naturally, we have it set up to all the doors, windows, things like that. But there's also a motion detector in our alarm system. Now, we have pets in our home. We have cats. We've had dogs in the past. And that motion detector is set up to detect anything larger than a dog. So, for example, a person, right? That's the whole point. If there's a person in our home when the alarm is set and that motion catches it, it's going to go off exactly as it should, right? But imagine if my alarm, if that motion detector was triggered by things that are a little bit smaller. What if it was triggered by anything and everything? Our little cat that's 6 pounds walking around would trigger that alarm. It would be constantly going off because I can tell you our cats do not stay still. They went in and out and in and out all the time. So our motion detector can't be set up like that because it would be constantly triggered all the time. Now, think about your brain in the same way. If your brain and body are on high alert, if they have those hairpin triggers, if anything and everything sets them off, your anxiety is going to be firing 24/7. It's constantly going off, right? And that might be exactly how you feel right now. You might feel like you have several anxiety triggers or new things are constantly causing your anxiety, or you might even feel like you just kind of have anxiety on a normal basis. You wake up feeling anxious, you go to sleep feeling anxious, and you're not really sure when it stops or when it starts. This is for sure how I felt when I had anxiety. I just had it pretty much all the time, that buzzing internally, that on edge feeling, that knowing that something bad was coming, that dread, felt that all the time. So what we have to do is teach ourselves to get the right settings. If we're talking about that motion detector, how do we set it up so that it's not triggered by these little cats running around and instead triggered by something larger, like something that should be alarming, something that should be concerning? How can we help your brain get set up to the right settings so that it's not constantly firing off and feeling anxious? When you learn what anxiety truly is, which is our internal alarm, that messenger that something is wrong in our body, what we actually learn to do is listen. You stop avoiding it. Okay. In the same way that if my alarm system is going off in my house, I wouldn't just avoid it. I wouldn't just get in the car and leave. I wouldn't ignore it. I wouldn't try to continue just going on with my life with that alarm system just blaring in my ear. What would I do? What would you do? We would walk over to the keypad. We would punch in that code and the alarm would go off. I want to teach you the code. I want to teach you how to notice when that alarm is going off instead of ignoring it. And in regards to yourself and this alarm system inside of your body, otherwise known as anxiety, I want to teach you ways to take care of yourself so that alarm doesn't go off as often, right? I want to teach you how to heal that anxiety at the root so it doesn't have that hairpin trigger and it's not going off 24/7. I want to teach you all of this and more inside of my program, Empowered and Free from Anxiety. Empowered and Free from Anxiety is my program that teaches you step by step how to take back your life from anxiety, how to have the right tools so that you know how to prevent this alarm from going off and stop it from happening in the first place. I want to teach you how to get to the root of your anxiety so that that alarm system isn't always going off. I want you to feel the baseline of safety and calm and peacefulness and happiness and everything you desire in your life. I want you to feel carefree and excited about your life again and not feel like you're constantly on edge about your anxiety happening again. I teach you this and so much more inside of Empowered and Free, and I'd love to have you there. Check it out at heyerinkimbrell.com/free. You'll get all of the details. Enrollment will only be open from March 13th to March 17th, 2023. So make sure you join us, friend. You could be feeling less anxious. You could turn down the settings on your alarm, and you could finally feel free from anxiety that holds you back from living the life you want to live. There are only 20 spots open. You've got to get in as soon as you can. If you have any questions, send them over. I'm happy to answer. I want you to feel fully supported. I want you to feel excited and know that this is the right step for you. I hope today and painting this picture of what anxiety really is helps you get to the bottom of why it happens in the first place. I would love to see you inside of Empowered and Free from Anxiety. And I will see you in the next episode right here on the podcast. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. You don't know how much it means to me. If you'd like more behind the scenes content, inspiration, and daily reminders that encourage and uplift you, follow me on Instagram at heyerinkimbrell and send me a DM to say hey. If any of the episodes have been super helpful for you, please consider leaving me a review on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen. It helps me so incredibly much, and it allows the podcast to be seen by other people who need it. If you want to learn more from me, head to heyerinkimbrell.com. That's where you'll find all my free resources, read the podcast show notes, and learn more information about my online coaching and breathwork programs that help you create the life you want. If you want to keep the conversation going from today's episode, join us in our exclusive podcast Facebook community, Empowered and Free Help for High Functioning Anxiety. I'm here for you, and I'm always cheering you on. I'll see you next time. I'm Erin Kimbrell, and this is the Empowered and Free podcast.